Okay, so back with another video. What prompted this, because you've probably seen how much I've posted about Microsoft RMS already, but I am embarking, or actually I've already embarked on a series of on-site visits with RMS users. I'll be traveling pretty much, looks like, through June or July. So this presentation I'm going to do here is actually one that I'm going to be using on the road for folks. So I thought it'd be great to run through it and see if I can keep this fairly short and to the point, because these folks have a lot of questions and I don't need to be talking the whole time. So, Microsoft Dynamics RMS. What RMS users are doing. This means it's not just a recommendation, it's what the heck folks are actually doing using RMS. As a reminder, my name is Kevin. I work for Wright out of our remote office in Boise, Idaho. I have 18 years of experience in the sales and support of over 20 different point of sale systems. And previously, I've had 7 years retail and 7 years restaurant management experience. So, what I want to quickly go through here is the current situation with RMS, reasons that retailers are updating or replacing RMS, some of the migration or update options, a little comparison of those options, some quick information about the very popular Card Defender, and then a very quick demo of RMS, RMH, and Cloud Retailer. The reason I'm doing RMS is it's a good base point for folks so they can see the differences. And then normally this would end with some question and answer time. So here we go. So quick refresher, because things have changed since 2014 on RMS. The last date for new customers to purchase RMS was July of 2016. Existing RMS users who are current, note the word current, on your software maintenance can buy additional lanes until July of 2021, and that applies to HQ as well. You can add stores and things like that. Now, if you are not current on your maintenance, you presently can pay your back fee, which runs about $940 per lane. And then that will bring you current, and then you can buy additional lanes, additional stores, stuff like that. Full support for RMS ends in 2021. Doesn't mean there's, at this point, anything that would stop you from using it, but we just don't know at this point if there's some sort of security or other issue that might come around related to Windows or something like that. But odds are, my gut instinct says that there'll still be a way to keep using it. It'll just be you can't add stores or add lanes, get replacement license keys if it's lost. You know, there could be a critical thing that happens that just crashes the system, basically. And again, this information all applies to the multi-location HQ add-on for RMS as well, or module for RMS. Reminder, Microsoft will not be updating or enhancing RMS. They ignored EMV, they ignored SHA2. It's just obvious that they're not investing in RMS. However, there's still approximately, last time I checked, 38,000 stores in the US that are still using RMS. And sometimes it feels like I've talked to all of them. So, which is actually kind of fun. So that's the current situation. Still a lot of folks. And, you know, we look at July of 2021. It's not like RMS users are under the gun. However, there are some things that are happening in the industry that are prompting RMS users to look at either updating or what I call refreshing RMS, basically looking at the situation, adjusting and updating the version of RMS, the peripherals, hardware, things like that. Or they're seeing these things happen and they're looking at replacing RMS. So first, the biggest one, of course, has been EMV or chip card acceptance, especially now that I'm getting calls from folks who are getting hit with fraudulent charges that they're paying out of pocket, or the merchant service companies are applying a monthly non-EMV acceptance fee. seems to be in the neighborhood of $20 to $50 a month, which is not horrible, but does add up over time and is somewhat annoying. It might be a good reason to take chip cards. The other reason, another reason here is the equipment's outdated. Folks are looking at their RMS system that they bought from me in 2005 and saying, yeah, it's probably time to replace, update the equipment, things like that. Larger organizations are looking at that July 2021 deadline and saying, well, we've got 50, 300, 350 locations. We kind of need to start planning now. We may not do something until 2019 or 2020 or 2021, but we need to start planning now. There's other things that have come around like SHA-2, the new MasterCard card numbers coming out in, I believe it's May of this year. Or in some cases, folks are just realizing they need more or they need less of what RMS can offer. It's just not a good match. When RMS first replaced QuickSell 2000 and QuickSell Commerce, there wasn't a lot on the market. I mean, when RMS first came out, I was working with Keystroke, General Store, Cougar Mountain. Those were kind of the main ones. Oh, and Retail Pro. And so folks just kind of had to get a system. Now we've got 50 or 60 different types of retail point-of-sale systems on the market, and there are more options. So they're taking advantage of this to see, really, is there a better fit for their business? So for the folks that are happy with RMS, they really don't want to switch and retrain the staff and go through all that just yet. They're looking at that refresh option. And what I mean by refresh is basically they're updating the hardware as needed, updating RMS as needed, and in most cases adding Card Defender to accept chip cards and remove the credit card liability out of RMS, but still have an integrated payment solution for RMS. Obviously, this sort of thing is the lowest cost and easiest, and it extends the life of RMS because, especially for using Card Defender, the biggest risk area in RMS is related to credit card processing. So you take that away, you really eliminate a lot of the security risks related to RMS, yet you still have an integrated payment solution that meets or exceeds all the industry security requirements. And then now they can do this refresh, buys time, and then they can wait until 2021 or whenever to see what options are available. For the folks that are ready for something new but want to keep all that data and take advantage also of some pretty significant licensing price discounts, the options kind of fall into Retail Management Hero, known as RMH, Retail Realm Essentials, known as RRE, Microsoft Dynamics AX, Microsoft Dynamics 365, and Cloud Retailer. So we'll quickly run through these. So the refresh option, which again is generally implementing Card Defender and then looking at any of the RMS software that needs to be updated, any of the hardware peripherals that need to be updated. Again, the pros there, it's lowest cost, keep using the same system so there's no training for the staff, it's the easiest. The con is we still have that 2021 deadline coming up where may be able to keep using, may not be able to keep using. So our starting costs, you're looking at, when I say starting costs per store location, I'm looking at someone who has, say, between 1 and 2 checkout lanes and just a single store location for that. So Card Defender, we're looking at $1,350 to $1,900. RMS update, it depends what you need. Could be nothing, could be $940 plus any hardware and labor that might be required. Retail Management Hero, biggest pro there is, it's literally RMS version 3. It's a great single location solution. You get up to 100% discount on the licensing. The training is minimal. It's easy to upgrade. It's just minimal changes for those used to RMS. The cons presently is there is no HQ or multi-location option for Hero. Um, Odds are that will be ready for deployment late 2017 or early 2018. There's also very limited processing options in Hero if you want to use integrated processing. We are working on updating Card Defender to work with Hero, but presently Hero has partnered with Vantiv, Heartland, and Cayenne for processing. The license cost upgrades are extremely low for Hero, around 214 to 464 per checkout lane, plus, of course, any associated hardware or labor that is required. Retail Realm Essentials. So basically, this is Dynamics AX with all the other non-point of sale modules turned off. A very robust program. And when I say that, I mean it's really not for a mom and pop retailer. It's for maybe a warehouse store that has 8, 10, 15 checkout lanes, or a chain that has 15, 25 locations. Someone who has, I put under the cons, you have to remember a solution like this requires some pretty robust computer equipment. So you need your SQL servers and things like that. Realistically, and I'm including the hardware and labor for Retail Realm Essentials, you're looking at about 25 to 50 grand per location when all is said and done. Next up, we have Dynamics AX. So this is a true ERP solution, can do just about anything. I mean, the module list is incredible. You've got, not just point of sale and financials, but you've got CRM, transportation logistics, warehouse management, productivity management. It's pretty robust. I hate to keep using that word again, but it is. It's pretty cool. The cons is, hey, guess what? It's being discontinued. It's entering that end of life I think in 2 years, if I recall correctly. And it is a resource-heavy program. And when I say resource, I will also include IT people. It's not just requiring the computer equipment these days, it's having those folks in IT maintain everything. And I'll just be blunt on this. Unless you're an organization with $1 million to spend, no one's going to talk to you about AX. That's just kind of the minimal starting point for an AX type solution. Dynamics 365, that is our replacement for AX. So basically, this has been recently released, but Microsoft has retooled AX, and they're offering either cloud-based versions or locally deployed versions. And then you have monthly subscription pricing per device that is also somewhat modular when you look at like Dynamics 365 for operations. There's some different bundles, some different modules and things like that. However, again, this is not for a mom and pop retail. Even if you take just a single module at $210 a month on a device, that's $12,600 over 5 years. Now, granted, if you get the cloud version, you're not dealing with needing SQL servers or things like that. And so, for starting cost per store location, it runs the gamut depending on how many licenses how many devices you have, and what modules you need, and the size of your organization. And so finally, another direct deployment for Cloud Retailer, is Cloud Retailer, and that is a direct migration from RMS that also incorporates the Card Defender solution. It is highly customizable, and there are some pretty significant discounts for RMS users. It's a pretty cool solution because it's part cloud, part local, and the pricing even if you're not an RMS user, the pricing is part up front and part ongoing. And that what that does is it makes it quite a bit less upfront than traditional point of sale programs where you buy the license up front, but it also makes it less ongoing when you compare to the other cloud-based or similar cloud-based point of sale solutions, which may run anywhere from $100 to $279 a month. Now, Cloud Retailer is a little more vertical specific when it comes to the features and functions. However, it is also very customizable, and we've done customizations already, especially for like the liquor beverage industry. Let's see, the locksmith and trampoline parks and park and recreation facilities. The other cool thing about Cloud Retailer is the core product is a great general retail. It's for folks who want more or want some customization for their market or their vertical industry. Then Cloud Retailer is so easy. We have 3 programmers on staff that can whip out changes as needed. Cloud Retailer pricing for a single store location. If you're an RMS user, it could be as low as $0 up front and $50 a month for the ongoing license cost. Non-RMS users, it would be starting at $500 up front and $50 a month. And of course, we need to add our hardware and labor as needed. So I've been getting asked literally several times a day about Card Defender and where it falls into the mix. So the idea here is Card Defender is the only integrated EMV or chip card solution for RMS that does not have an additional per transaction fee and or a contract. Presently, we'll call it as of March 2017, there's about 840 active deployments of Card Defender. Your complete upfront costs for Card Defender, which means a PAX S300 terminal, the Card Defender software, remote installation and training, is going to run about $1,300 to $1,400 for a single lane, single site, or single store, to $1,800 to $1,950 for a 2-lane store. And then there is a $10 per terminal month's cost for support and updates. And then I get asked, good grief, that's expensive compared to this place that'll give me a $280 terminal that does the same thing. Well, here's the deal. If you're looking at that $280 terminal and it's a standalone terminal, and this is from talking to retailers, they're averaging about $80 a month in entry errors on that standalone payment terminal. So that means they're losing $4,800 due to human error over the course of 5 years. That's more than even $1,950 plus $10 a month over the course of 5 years for a Card Defender. Now, if you're looking at that terminal and they say, hey, terminal's free, we're just going to charge you 5 cents per transaction to use our gateway. Well, guess what? If you're averaging 40 transactions a day and they're charging 5 cents a transaction, that's $3,600 over 5 years. Card Defender is still less expensive in the long run. So folks, you need to be looking at the long-term costs and not just the upfront cost. Okay, so I'm going to hop in and quickly show just the point of sale side of 3 different programs. And just what I'm going to do in each of the programs is just quickly run through a typical transaction. So typically in RMS, we are going to do our F7 to look up the customer, or they're going to swipe their card, scan their barcode on their preferred card, stuff like that. If I remembered to hook up a barcode scanner, we could have just scanned the barcode on an item, but I'll look up an item, add it to the sale, and we're going to hit F12 to tender the sale. And I'm just going to use a shortcut. And there we go. There's RMS. So now let's hop over to Retail Management Hero. Basically, keep in mind the back part of this is still predominantly RMS. It's just different look and feel. So we can still do our F7 or we can use our touchscreen. I'm just going to use the traditional way that RMS users are used to. And again, with the items, we can scan, we can look up using F2. Told you this was RMS version 3. And then we can tender our sale, which again can be the F12. So there we go. Pretty easy. Very similar. Now let's hop over to Cloud Retailer. Now this is the version that has some customizations for some liquor stores. So I realize not everybody sells kegs or ice or things like that. So again, touchscreen or keyboard, whatever your preference is, we're going to do kind of the same steps. Customer. I'm going to look up an item because I just realized I can't hook up my barcode scanner because my USB port is taken up by my headset. So normally, obviously, you'd be scanning, but we're going to go ahead and just look it up. I mean, you can see how similar all these programs are. And then we are going to... So these all get very similar in how transactions are processed. In this case, programs are fairly similar in how easy it is to ring through transactions. In this case, because I do not have a payment terminal hooked up, we're going to go tender, and actually I'm going to change that to $50. And that really is it. Gives the change. And if I had a receipt printer, then it would be spitting out a receipt. So there you go. That is really what RMS users are doing, why I'm traveling so much, what we're talking about with them, and hopefully this gives you some ideas on what you need to be doing if you're an RMS user. And this, if you need to be doing anything. That is something I'm doing a lot, so please do reach out to me if there's a conversation you would like to have over the phone, via email, Google Chat, Google Hangouts, in person, whatever works. Just get in touch with me. Obviously, happy to have that conversation and see how we can help. And thanks for putting up with me. There's the contact information.